Hey guys, Jason here with a more serious video than what you're used to. I want to share something with you guys that I've been wanting to share for the longest time, but I've never really had the courage to do so. When I made the community post for my Q&A 8 video, a lot of you had really good questions, but there was one question that really piqued my interest. One that really stunned me, one that was just really surprising, but really nice of you to ask. I would like to thank Lemmy Video 6729 for asking this question, but the question is, how are you doing mentally? I thought that this question was just too complex to answer in a Q&A video, so I figured that what I would do instead is make a whole video dedicated to this question. Lemmy Video 6729, if you're watching this, thank you for not only asking this question, but for also giving me an excuse to answer it. Now, before I answer this question, I would like to tell people that if they want to go get a snack or get a drink, now would be the perfect time to do it. Just pause the video, go get your snack, go get your drink, and then come back, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, because this video is probably gonna be a long one, because you're not only gonna get an answer, but you're gonna get a story. This is the story about my mental health. My mental health journey began when I entered the 6th grade. Beforehand, I used to be very happy, very bright and cheerful, and I would talk to a lot of people. I would be very talkative. Sometimes I would never shut up. I was just so talkative. But I used to love playing with my friends back in 1st through 5th grade in elementary school. It was a lot of fun. Sometimes I would play a little too rough with my friends, and most of the time that would get me into trouble, thanks to the violence in movies that I've been watching as a kid. But apart from that, I was really friendly, really kind, and I meant well. And I've always loved making new friends and hanging out with the friends I had. However, that all changed when I entered middle school. Middle school, especially 6th grade, was a nightmare for me. For one, I found it much harder to talk to people, and I wasn't nearly as outspoken as I was back in elementary school. As a result, it became harder and harder to make friends. Not to mention that the schoolwork and homework in 6th grade was an absolute nightmare. I would be sitting there for 4 hours, especially with my math homework, because I was just struggling to figure out some of the math problems. And it didn't help that I had autism either, but back then, if you were to ask me if I had autism, I would deny it because I refused to believe that I had autism. The only thing on my mind at the time was trying to fit in with the other kids, and it was very hard to do so. One good thing that came out of middle school was that I became a lot more mature there than I was back in elementary school. I feel like the immaturity that I had back in elementary school just lifted off my shoulders. But that didn't mean that I didn't get into a little bit of trouble every now and then. As middle school progressed with 7th grade and 8th grade, the work wasn't nearly as stressful, and I wasn't nearly as terrible than I was in 6th grade, so that's a plus anyway. When I got to high school, I didn't like it at first. I was struggling during my freshman and sophomore year, and it was just really hard to comprehend the work there, and I don't know. I guess the only thing going for me during my sophomore year was that I had a little bit of popularity. I was nowhere near as popular as the football players, but for a nerd, I was pretty popular. Because I was in special ed and had an IEP, I had to take a strategies class where I could go and do my homework there. It was like study hall, except you learned things. But there was one strategies teacher that I had during my freshman and sophomore year. We're just gonna call her Sheila for now, who was just very mean to me. She always criticized my work, no matter how hard I tried, and she even told me once that I would never make it to high school and I would never amount to anything. By the end of my sophomore year, I had had enough. So when my junior and senior year came around, my goal was to prove her wrong. And in the end, I ended up succeeding. I transferred over to this new strategies teacher, and he's great. He's also my cross-country / track coach, and I gotta say, moving to his class was probably the best decision I've ever made. I got my work done with no fuss, and there was no criticism, no insulting me or getting me down, and, I was just determined to get through high school and to prove Sheila wrong. During my junior and senior year, things were going really well for me. I had a boost in confidence, I was able to make friends that I wasn't able to make before. Life was great. That is, however, until the tail end of my senior year. On May 20th, 2016, I lost one of the most important people in my life that helped me get through my childhood. I am, of course, talking about my mom. I was just getting over the loss of my grandmother, who passed away 13 months prior. My mom had been sick for a while, going through some treatments with her liver for a few years. She's been going through the treatments back and forth to the hospital since the end of my sophomore year. But during the tail end of my senior year, I think it was on a Saturday sometime in May, I was in my room doing whatever, chilling in my bed, maybe playing some video games or something, and then my mom calls me from the other room, and she tells me to bring in a trash bin. A small trash bin. At first I thought she wanted to throw something out, so I went to grab a small trash barrel from the bathroom and I went to give it to her. But when I got to her room, let's just say what I saw wasn't pretty. I quickly ran downstairs to get my dad, who was in the living room watching TV, and he immediately took my mom to the hospital. And that was the last time I ever saw her. 1 week later, we got the call saying that she had passed away. That really took a toll on my mental health. I was so depressed, and what's worse about it is that she passed away right before I graduated high school, which made it even more devastating. It really hurt me to see that my mom would never see me graduate, and it just broke my heart. All that hard work getting the confidence I needed during my junior and senior year just went down the drain. And for the next 3 years, I would be going through a lot of trauma, being depressed as hell, not wanting to do anything, and I was just so depressed. I was in my room for most of the time. I'd never wanted to leave my bed, and I could not figure out how to move on without my mom. About a year after my mom died, my dad got a new girlfriend. I'm just gonna call her Karen for right now because she had the qualities of a Karen, but she absolutely despised me and I absolutely despised her. I never trusted her from the get-go, and all her actions did was prove my suspicions. It was pretty clear that Karen wanted me out of the picture because she was pushing me to move out, pushing me to get a job and do this, do that, and she was being so bossy about it, and she would turn my brother and my dad against me. And for the next couple of years, I felt betrayed because my own father and my own brother were turning against me. I even thought about moving out a couple of times, and it was just torture. But there was one point in my life where I was just at the lowest. I just wanted to end it all, and I almost did. What stopped me? I thought about my mom. I stood there and thought to myself, Jason, what the hell are you doing? Is this what your mother would want? Would she want you to end it because of some Karen? And that gave me the strength I need to push on. And I promised to my mom, even though she was gone, I looked up at the sky and promised to her that I would stand up for myself. I then started to form a plan to stand up to Karen and hopefully make her leave the house and never come back, even if it meant losing my dad's respect. However, I never got the chance to stand up to her because I didn't have to. My dad sat down with me one day and asked me if I liked Karen, and I was blunt with him. I was brutally honest with him, and I said, no, I don't like Karen. And I told him why, and my dad was like, okay, that's the end of that then. So then my dad told her off, and she left and never came back. I think that deep down my dad was beginning to realize the red flags that Karen was showing. So that's probably why he asked me those questions. Nowadays, my dad's currently dating another woman, and she's definitely way better than Karen, I'll tell you that much. And they're still dating to this day. I'm actually planning to go to college sometime in the near future, and my dad's current girlfriend is currently helping me out with that. I'm doing a lot better now than I was 5-6 years ago, but I've still got some depression every now and then, though it's not nearly as serious. You guys all know about the Thomas content situation and how some of my videos were getting marked for kids. I just deleted the videos that were marked for kids because I just got tired of looking at them, you know? That's why I'm uploading Thomas and the Multiverse 2 videos with a lot of caution. Someone advised me to put in the hashtag hell in there, and I also put disclaimers on the videos to see if I can try to avoid the videos getting marked for kids. Because when one of my videos gets marked for kids, I feel like all that hard work that I put into that video, all that effort that I went through, was just for nothing. It really downgraded my confidence, and I'm trying to boost it back up right now as we speak. Because right now I have a lot going for me. I have a loving family, some really good friends, I've got a job here, and very loyal and very kind subscribers, and I have a lot going for me. The only thing I don't really have is a college education, a driver's license, and a girlfriend, but apart from that, I have a lot going for me. And I'm pretty happy with that. And going back to the college thing for a second, I'm planning on going to college to become a voice actor one day. And I'm hoping to maybe take a program to slowly work my way to that college, so then I can not only become a voice actor, but also improve my editing skills on YouTube. Because I feel like I'm pretty good on YouTube, but there's always room for improvement. And I've also been going to the gym for the last 3 years, and I feel great because of it. Originally, I was planning to go to college in 2020, then came a certain pandemic, and I really couldn't do anything for a long period of time. I was just trapped in my house for so long, and it was just awful. But now that everything's opening back up again, I'm hoping to go to college sometime in the future. And that is my mental health journey so far. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. And if we could get to 70,000 subscribers by the end of the year, that would be amazing. If we could begin 2022 with 60,000 and end 2022 with 70,000, that would be very much appreciated. Also, let me know if you're dealing with mental health in the comments down below, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. So long!